What's up everybody, DKLJ here, and let's talk about Barcelona. That Champions League group stage match against Inter Milan was absolutely bonkers. A 6-goal thriller in the San Siro with huge implications for both teams moving forward in the competition. But before we start handing out Champions League participation trophies, let's break down the individual performances from Xavi's side. As always, these ratings are brought to you by the wizards over at goal.com. And while I may not always agree with them, they're a great starting point for us to debate. So buckle up, grab your Messi shrine candles, and let's dive into these Barcelona player ratings. Big game. Kind of a stinker for the German shot stopper. Look, when you concede 3 goals, you're rarely going to come away with a glowing review. Stegen made a couple of decent saves, but his distribution was a little suspect at times. And honestly, he could have done better for at least one of Inter's goals. Goal.com slapped him with a 5 out of 10. Cancelo put in a solid shift down that right flank. He was his usual active self, getting forward when he could and trying to whip in those delicious crosses. Defensively, he held his own, but there were moments when Inter's attack exposed him a bit. Ultimately, a 6.5 out of 10 from Goal.com feels fair. You know what you're going to get with Araujo grit, determination and some crunching tackles. He wasn't flawless, but he was a rock at the back for Barcelona, making some key interceptions and generally being a nuisance for Inter's attackers. Goal.com gave him a respectable 7 out of 10. A mixed bag for Christensen. Look, it wasn't an easy night for Barcelona's centre-backs, and he had his hands full with Inter's attack. There were times when he looked really assured, but then there were moments where he was caught out of position or struggled with the pace of the game. Goal.com hit him with a 6 out of 10, which honestly feels a tad harsh. Balde continues to impress. He was a constant threat going forward, using his pace and trickery to get in behind Inter's defense. He even chipped in with an assist, which is always nice. Defensively, he had a few shaky moments, but overall, a very encouraging performance. He earns a 7.5 out of 10. The midfield general, İlkay Gundogan. He kept things ticking over nicely in the middle of the park, dictating the tempo and showing his usual range of passing. He wasn't directly involved in any of the goals, but his influence on the match was undeniable. Goal.com gave him a 7 out of 10. Frenkie de Jong. What more can you say about this guy? He was everywhere on the pitch against Inter, breaking up play, carrying the ball forward, and linking up beautifully with his teammates. He's the engine that makes this Barcelona team tick, and this was another classy performance. He gets a well-deserved 8 out of 10. Gavi. This kid plays with the heart of a lion. He's always buzzing around, winning the ball back and driving Barcelona forward. He even managed to get himself on the score sheet with a well-taken goal. He's a manager's dream and earned himself a very strong 8 out of 10. Yamal. Remember the name? This kid is special. At just 16 years old, he became Barcelona's youngest ever Champions League goal scorer with a beautifully taken goal. But honestly, it wasn't just the goal. It was his overall composure and fearlessness on such a big stage. We are witnessing the birth of a star. And well, he gets a 9 out of 10 from me. Forget what Goal.com says. It just wasn't Lewandowski's night. He had a couple of half chances, but couldn't quite find the back of the net. Look, even the best strikers have these nights, and I'm not too concerned about Lewandowski in the grand scheme of things. Goal.com gave him a 6 out of 10, which is probably a bit harsh. Joao Felix didn't start the game, but he made a real impact off the bench. He added a spark to Barcelona's attack with his creativity and movement, and he played a key role in one of their goals. It was a timely reminder of his quality, and I think he's going to be a huge player for them this season. Goal.com clearly agrees, giving him a 7.5 out of 10. So there you have it. My Barcelona player ratings for their insane 3-3 draw with Inter Milan. It was a wild one, but what did you guys think of the performance? Let me know your thoughts and your own player ratings down in the comments below. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to the channel for more football analysis, rants and general shenanigans. Until next time, peace.